Training camp has started for a lot of NBA teams in the last week or so, and we've seen a lot of videos and pictures of players to see whether or not they're in shape. Some of them are in the best shape of their life. You look at Luka Doncic, he is super skinny right now, hence the nickname Skinny Luka. He's gotten that nickname from all the memes people have thrown out there. And then there's the guy that the Mavericks traded Luka for, Anthony Davis, who I've always referred to as AKA a dummy. That's always my nickname for him because I've always viewed him as a dummy. And he looks like he's out of shape. That it's been reported that he's 15 pounds overweight. And you can tell by the picture, like you compare him from the time when he was a Laker to now, it looks like he has like a beer gut, like a middle-aged man beer gut going on for him. And he doesn't look like he's that bad out of shape, but I would say for a normal person, even the shape he's in right now would be okay. But for an NBA player, it's definitely out of shape. It's definitely fat for an NBA player. And I'm going to read out a quote he had to say about this. I feel good. I kind of almost going into every season because I put on so much weight over the summer. Then by the time November comes, I'm usually 255, 258. I never want to come in at my playing weight because then I lose weight during the season and then I'm too small. I lose about 10 to 12 pounds very quickly. During camp, I already lost 5 pounds, all the running and playing. So I'm never concerned about that. I feel great. I'm moving great. I feel good, said Davis. I have to say that remark shows how immature Anthony Davis is. One thing I want to say is that he may be right in the past that he could come out of shape for training camp and then just lose all that weight later on. But it's easy to do all that when you're young. You can easily lose weight when you're young. When you're in your 20s, it's very easy to do it. I've done it several times when I was in my 20s. I would get lazy, get out of shape, and then immediately I could shed 10, 15 pounds within just like a few months, just completely lose it. But one thing I would tell anybody, even beyond sports, once you get above 30, it gets hard to shed the weight. That it takes you a lot longer to just get rid of it. And I think that's something that Davis does not realize, that it's not that easy to shed pounds as quickly as you did when you're younger. It's actually bad when you're a professional athlete to play this game because you're doing yourself a disservice by being out of shape. You make yourself more prone to getting hurt, getting injured, and it takes your body longer to adjust. If anything, you should be super focused in being in shape once you're older, once you're above the age of 30. I remember Tim Duncan was always hell-bent, in being in shape once he got above the age of 30. Granted, he was always like that throughout his career, but he made that focus. I remember when he was in his mid to late 30s and he had that renaissance, that resurgence, him saying in an interview that was due to him actually losing weight. Granted, he wasn't out of shape, but because he had put on muscle throughout his career, he felt he was too heavy for his knees and he had to lose the weight to take the pressure off his knees, the muscle, which allowed him to be more spry again. It gave him like a resurgence, whereas I felt if he didn't make that effort to lose like the 10, 15 pounds of muscle, his career could have ended a lot earlier, at the age of 35, 36 instead of the age of 40. So he kind of redid it. So you got to look at your body differently once you're in your 30s. And it just shows that a dummy is just not mature, that he's not taking this seriously. And it's like one of the many reasons people have never respected him as a franchise player, that he's never been able to be a great number one guy. Hence why he went to the Lakers in the first place, to be the number two guy to LeBron's number one. Granted, I felt that he was equally as important as LeBron, but he never got the credit. You could say he was probably the best player in that playoff run when they won that bullshit title, but that was overshadowed because people don't respect him. So this is like a bad look for him, because he was saying last year how he wanted to prove his haters wrong about being the man, being the guy, and showing that he can carry a team. And and he did get hurt last year, which was funny, I have to admit. But you would think this year he would try to have a redemption arc to really show people like, hey, I am that guy, I am the man. But by being out of shape, he just shows he doesn't have the maturity, and I feel he's playing a dangerous game by getting out of shape at this age because, like I said, it's harder to lose the weight. And there are a lot of guys whose careers eventually ended with that attitude. Like I look at Sean Kemp, the the biggest thing that killed his career other than drug abuse was him getting out of shape. Once the NBA lockout came, he got arrogant that he could get out of shape and that he could immediately lose it, but he wasn't able to do it. And that happened with a lot of other guys during that first NBA lockout. So the same thing can happen to Anthony Davis if he's not careful. Like he has to realize that you can't fool around with being out of shape once you're above the age of 30 and expect that you can immediately get it back. It doesn't always work out like that. So I think he has to be careful in that sense, or maybe he doesn't care to stretch his career within his late 30s. Maybe he's a guy who wants to retire at 34, 35. I don't know, but I would just say that he could decline rapidly if he continues to get out of shape like this every year. That his decline could be very rapid. So that's all I really wanted to say about this.